Hello guys, it's a very warm welcome to Alpha Omega Daily. This channel aims to bring you all there is to know about living in Thailand as an expat. I've got 10 years of experience, in other words I've been living here for 10 years, and I aim to bring you in these videos, a flavour of what it's like to live here as an expat. So I hope you enjoy this, which is the inaugural video. It's the first video on the channel, and if you haven't done so already, make sure you click that subscribe button. Anyway, sit back, relax and enjoy this. I don't pretend to know everything there is to know about Thailand, indeed. Who does? But I can tell you this much. I just want to start by saying that I think Thailand is one of the most wonderful countries in the world. The people are amongst the friendliest in the world. Bangkok in particular is one of the safest cities in the world. Don't take my word for it. Have a look at my other channel, The Big Picture El Panorama, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about in terms of friendliness, cordialness, and just overall safety. But in this video, we're talking about the things that I cannot understand about Thailand. Not saying that they're bad, it's just that I cannot understand, and the things that I do understand and that I feel are good. So without further ado, one of the things, by the way, we will be going to various places, locations throughout this wonderful city of Bangkok, but today, because of the precipitation, because it is precipitating, it's the monsoon season, I'm kind of stuck in the shelter. But anyway, here we go. The thing that drives me crazy, well, not drives me crazy, that I cannot understand: motorcycles. Why do Thai people put 2, 3, 4 or even 5 people on a motorcycle? Why do they carry children on a motorcycle? It's not that I'm criticizing it. I think that I know more or less that let's say the income of some people doesn't afford them the opportunity to have a car, let's say, or other form of transport, so they transport their kids to school on motorcycles. That's one of the reasons why they do it. But from my experience, people bring their kids on motorcycles everywhere and anywhere, and it's just it's not unique to Thailand. It's all over Southeast Asia. Even in Napoli in Italy, they do it. They don't bring kids on motorcycles, but they have 3, 4, I don't know, about 5 people on motorcycles. Anyway, it's something that I cannot understand. Number 2 on this list, if you've ever been to Bangkok, you might notice that quite a few people cycle. And one of the things that I've noticed about a lot of Thai people who cycle, they have the seat or the saddle of the bicycle on the lowest setting, which means that they're using all their power to turn the pedals without getting the full extension of their legs. The higher the saddle, the less work you have to do. But for some reason, the people that I see cycle their bicycles on the lowest setting, and I can't understand why. I even pointed this out to more than one Thai person, and when I did point it out of courtesy, they raised their saddle, but the very next time I saw them, it was back down again. So lowest setting on a saddle, I can't understand. It defeats me. Another thing, you'll probably see there's a swimming pool behind me here, nobody in it because it's raining, but generally during the day there'll be nobody in it anyway, because Thais tend to swim when the sun isn't around. You'll notice there's a lot of foliage and trees where I am here. This pool is more or less shaded by those trees during the day, protecting the would-be swimmers from the sun. But most Thais, the majority of Thais, wear clothes while swimming. I refer to it as scuba gear. It's literally those wetsuits. I can't understand it. You see, by the way, in case anyone thinks I'm criticising, it is a criticism, but it's positive criticism. It's not, well, it's an observation. I have a Thai son. My son is Thai. He's half Thai, half Irish. My wife is Thai. She dresses him up as if he's going scuba diving when he goes into the pool or when he goes to the beach. I can't understand why. It doesn't. I used to think it was to do with the sun. It's nothing to do. Well, it's not necessarily anything to do with the sun. It's just the way they do it. Even if the sun is out or not out, they still cover themselves. Full arm, full cover on the arm, and the leggings go down to the knee, and of course their whole torso is covered. So wearing clothes while swimming, I can't understand. The old chestnut, ice in beer. I mean, I've been to numerous places, numerous countries. I've lived in more than one country in my lifetime, but I never saw anyone put ice in beer till I came to Thailand, and I can't understand why. I've spoken to friends of mine who are expats, and one of them in particular, Mark, you know yourself who you are. Mark Buckley is a friend of mine, and he is a loyal subscriber to my other channel, and also a subscriber to this channel. Mark Buckley, who lives in Cockermouth in the UK, I was speaking to him recently, and he said when he lived here, he started to put ice in beer. But maybe it's because I'm Irish, I don't know what it is, but I wouldn't adulterate a beer by putting anything into it. But Thais put ice in beer. Obviously it's to keep it cold, but it does affect the taste. Why did they do it? I don't know. When they say, well, you say they do it to keep it cold, but if you drink it quickly, it doesn't get warm. But there you go, ice and beer. I can't understand it. This is something that the next one is something to do with, say, politeness. If two Thais are talking together, one here and one there, and another one passes through, they will stoop out of politeness. Now, it's something that I had never done before coming here, and it's something I still don't do. I am polite. I'm always polite, but I don't stoop. It's just not in my nature. But they do. So stooping between people is a polite part of their culture. But for me, it's something that I'm very conscious of and aware of. I don't stoop, but they do, and I can't understand it. On the positive notes, I've listed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 positive. No, but they're all positive. As I said, they're just observations. Things that I do like and understand completely is the friendly people. As I said it earlier, Thai people are amongst the most friendly people in the world, and you won't find friendliness like it anywhere else. You're always welcome. They always greet you with a smile, and they'll go out of their way to help you. I can't tell you the amount of times that I've received, let's say, gone for a coffee and got a free scone. Excuse me. They're always there, willing to be friendly and helpful. Number 2 is the safety. I alluded to it earlier on when I spoke about Bangkok. Bangkok is probably the safest city in the world. I do a lot of this vlogging on the streets of Bangkok at night, and if I was to do that in certain parts of Dublin where I'm from, I'm not saying anything, but I would say that I wouldn't feel as safe doing that with my camera as I feel here. Bangkok is probably it's the safest city I've ever lived in. I've never had any experience in a negative way in terms of my personal safety in Bangkok. One of the things that I rejoice in, number 3 on this list, is public holidays. Did you know that there are 19 public holidays in Thailand? It is absolutely wonderful. At this moment, this is July the 13th, and today and tomorrow are public holidays in Thailand. Most people have left Bangkok. They have taken the whole week off work, and it's like Christmas. It really is. They just disappear. Bangkok is a primate city. In other words, there's no city comparable with Bangkok anywhere in Thailand. Bangkok is probably, let's say, arguably 10, 12 million people. The next biggest city, I think, is Chiang Mai. I think it's 1 million people. But most people that live in Bangkok are from elsewhere, and on holidays they just exit. There's a mass exodus. So public holidays, 19 public holidays in Thailand. I put down as number 4, the relaxed way of life. There's a very, very relaxed way of life in Thailand. They say in the Thai language, and there's no direct English translation, sabai sabai, and that basically means take it easy, take it easy. When they greet each other, they say kun sabai, kun is you, kun sabai mai, that means are you relaxed? No, or whatever. But the relaxed nature here is just, it's intoxicating. It's infectious. You can't help but feel at ease living in this country. Number 5, which is probably one of the most important aspects of it, the cost of living. Now, whereby it's not as cheap as it used to be, it's still relatively cheap compared to anywhere else. You can live comfortably in Bangkok on a relatively low income. Now, again, I'm not going to start throwing figures because lots of fellas have put up on YouTube about the cost of living and how much you need to survive. But I would say to you that if you're earning $1,500 a month, you would be able to survive in Bangkok. Now, you wouldn't be out dancing every night or drinking every night, but you'd be able to survive. And there's not a lot of capital cities in the world you could say that of. Number 6, the weather. Despite what's going on here behind me at the moment, this is the middle of the monsoon season. The monsoon season goes from approximately June to approximately the start or end of October, start of November. This is what it's like. It's kind of dribbling rain at the moment, but it doesn't usually rain during the day. It usually rains in the evening and it comes down in sheets. But that's the monsoon season. The rest of the time it's hot and dry. At the moment it's hot and wet. The weather in itself is relaxing. I think that that's probably why the people are relaxing, and it's a relaxing place to be. The weather has a lot to do with that. And finally, and by no means least, the food. The food in Thailand is legendary. As you know, you don't need me to tell you. And it's omnipresent. It's absolutely everywhere to a fault, because you'll be given the opportunity to eat at any time. And be aware, lads, rice comes with everything, and rice is a pure carbohydrate. The carbohydrates that we're used to would be pasta and potatoes, let's say. Rice is a different form of carbohydrate. I ballooned up to 100 kilos in the first few years of living here, until I copped onto myself and I went on a keto kind of diet. But beware of that. The Thai food is omnipresent and it's delicious, and eating food in Thailand is akin to drinking beer in Ireland. That's more or less the way I'd compare it. We'd say back home, you're going for a pint, they'll say kun kin khao mai, did you eat rice? No, that's a greeting that they have. So there, I should say, are some of the things that I can't understand, and some of the things that I really enjoy about living in this wonderful, wonderful country of Thailand. And as I said, this is our inaugural video. There are oodles of things that I'm going to cover in forthcoming videos. We won't be restricted to the confines of where I am now. We'll be out and about, meeting people and enjoying the food and enjoying the culture of Thailand. Make sure you click that subscribe button, click the like button, click the share button, do all those wonderful things, and I'll bring you back another wonderful video very soon. Thanks for joining me.